need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits, and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's
agree
a
on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
In a legal bombshell that has sent shockwaves through the media world, former First Lady Melania Trump has filed a staggering $900 million defamation lawsuit against The View co-host Sunny Hostin, largest defamation cases ever brought against a television personality, and is poised to set a precedent for media accountability. This case has reignited the conversation surrounding journalistic integrity, free speech, and the consequences of reckless statements made in the public domain. Melania Trump, known for her reserved public demeanor, has rarely engaged in public disputes. However, this lawsuit signals a drastic shift, suggesting that she is unwilling to allow unchecked media narratives to shape her legacy. The case represents not only her personal battle, but also a broader fight against media bias and misinformation. The lawsuit stems from Hostin's remarks on The View, where she allegedly made unfounded claims about Melania Trump's relationship with her husband, former President Donald Trump. Hostin suggested that Melania despises her husband and that she has actively sought to distance herself from him, even going as far as to imply that she wants out of her marriage. While The View has often faced criticism for its partisan discussions, this time the comment struck a nerve with Melania Trump, who has long been the subject of media scrutiny and speculation. Unlike previous instances where she chose to remain silent, this time she is fighting back, determined to hold Hostin and ABC accountable for their words. Defamation cases, particularly those involving public figures, must meet a high legal threshold. Melania's legal team must prove that Hostin's statements were made with actual malice, meaning that she either knew her claims were false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Given Hostin's position as a television personality with a substantial audience, Melania's lawyers argue that her statements were not mere opinions, but rather deliberate attempts to damage Melania's reputation for entertainment value. If proven in court, this could result in not only a financial blow to ABC, but also a major shift in how media figures approach public commentary. Legal analysts suggest that if Melania wins, the ruling could serve as a blueprint for other public figures seeking to protect their reputations against media-driven narratives. The media landscape could be forced to adopt stricter fact-checking measures to avoid similar lawsuits in the future. The View has a long history of making inflammatory statements about conservative figures. Over the years, the show has become notorious for its biased coverage, often ridiculing right-leaning individuals without consequence. This lawsuit could finally bring some accountability to media personalities who have operated under the assumption that they can say anything without repercussions. For years, figures like Sunny Hostin have engaged in character attacks under the guise of discussion, but Melania Trump's lawsuit may force media outlets to reconsider their approach to political discourse. The $900 million lawsuit is a staggering sum, and if awarded, it could spell disaster for ABC. The network has already been struggling with declining ratings, and this lawsuit may be the final nail in the coffin for The View. Industry insiders speculate that if the case goes to trial, ABC may consider settling to avoid a prolonged legal battle and further reputational damage. Additionally, Sunny Hostin's future at The View may now be in jeopardy. Sources close to ABC executives suggest that discussions are already underway regarding potential disciplinary action, including suspension or even termination. With advertisers growing wary of controversy, Hostin's presence on the show may become a liability ABC can no longer afford. Reports suggest that major sponsors have started pulling back from advertising on The View, fearing association with a program embroiled in legal turmoil. If the lawsuit gains traction, ABC may be forced to issue an on-air apology or even cancel the show altogether to save face. This case is likely to have a long-lasting impact on the broader media landscape. If Melania's lawsuit succeeds, it could open the floodgates for other public figures to take legal action against talk show hosts and networks that push speculative narratives. Major media organizations may need to implement stricter legal vetting before airing statements that could be perceived as defamatory. This could also lead to the restructuring of editorial policies and training programs to ensure that on-air hosts and contributors are aware of the legal consequences of their remarks. The lawsuit also reignites the debate over whether media figures should be held to the same ethical standards as journalists. Unlike traditional news anchors who are bound by journalistic integrity, talk show hosts often present their opinions without thorough fact-checking. If this case sets a precedent, networks could be forced to apply stricter oversight on daytime television programs. Public reaction to the lawsuit has been divided along partisan lines. Supporters of Melania Trump argue that she is standing up to the biased mainstream media and defending herself against baseless attacks. Meanwhile, critics claim that the lawsuit is an attempt to silence free speech and shut down criticism of the Trump family. Regardless of political affiliation, the lawsuit raises crucial questions about media responsibility. Should talk show hosts be allowed to make unverified claims about public figures without facing consequences? Or does this lawsuit risk setting a dangerous precedent for restricting free speech? With Melania Trump taking a firm stance, this case could become a defining moment in the battle over media ethics. Political commentators have weighed in, with some suggesting that Melania's legal action could embolden other conservatives to pursue similar cases against left-leaning media outlets. The media landscape could face a significant shift if networks are forced to exercise more caution in their coverage of high-profile individuals. As legal proceedings unfold, all eyes are on the courtroom. If Melania Trump prevails, it could mark a turning point for media accountability, forcing networks and talk shows to reconsider how they discuss public figures. Whether this lawsuit results in financial compensation or merely a symbolic victory, one thing is certain: Melania Trump is no longer remaining silent in the face of media attacks. This case may be the beginning of a larger reckoning for an industry that has long operated without boundaries. As the trial date approaches, speculation continues to grow over the potential fallout for ABC, Sunny Hostin, and the broader media industry. If Melania succeeds, the precedent set by this case could change the way public figures engage with the press for years to come. With media organizations bracing for the impact of this case, the next chapter in this legal battle could redefine the boundaries between free speech and defamatory claims. The outcome of this lawsuit will serve as a warning to networks, talk show hosts, and journalists alike that defamation laws apply to everyone, regardless of their platform or audience size.